Chapter 2b of Spanish 1, we learn another verb that means to be. We already learned ser, that means to be. But estar also means to be when we're talking about location. So if I want to say that I am here, or I am sitting, or I am next to something, then we use the verb estar. This is how we conjugate the verb estar. If you want to say I am, we'd say yo estoy. You are, es tú, estás. And we need an accent on the A. He or she is in a location. Él or ella está. We are in a location. Nosotros estamos. And they are in a location. Ellos están. All of you guys are in Spain. Is estáis for vosotros, and you only need to learn that if you want to. So this is how we conjugate the verb estar. Now, if we're going to use items, objects, inanimate objects, like we do in this chapter, then we only have two options. These two right here. This is for singular objects, and this is for plural objects. So one thing está, and all those things están in a particular location. When we use this verb to talk about location in this chapter, we're going to use directional words to say that it is next to something else. So we've got these words. Next to is al lado. Under is debajo. In front of is delante. Behind is detrás. Encima is on top of. Oops, put that the wrong way. On top is encima. And even though it's not on our list, I also want us to put above, which is arriba, so that we know the difference between saying something's on top and something's above something else. So the kinds of sentences that we're going to use are things like the chair is next to the door. So we start with the object, la silla. Instead of es, because it's location, we're going to use this guy here and say está. Next to is al lado. And then all of these words, all these directional words are all going to be followed by the word de. It's on the side of, under of, in front of, in back of, on top of. De means of. So we'll put de, al lado de. And then the door is la puerta. Now there is one thing that's going to happen when we have, if it's de la, like this, where it's la puerta, then there's no issue and we just leave it de la. But if it's in front of the something masculine, we cannot put de el, because it doesn't sound Spanishy. We can't say de el. They don't like that. Two vowels next to each other. So over time it got squished together. So when we say of the and it's masculine, it comes together to be this word del. And that means of the when it's masculine. So when we say del taco, we're actually saying of the taco. So if I wanted to say the mouse is on top of the desk, we would need to use del in that sentence, and I want you to write this sentence on your notes in Spanish. In order to receive full credit for the notes, you gotta have this translated into Spanish at the bottom. El ratón está encima del escritorio.